What's up, YouTube? We're back with a good one today. So here's what we're talking about today. This is more of a method than a skill. How to drive and cut off your defender when you're driving to the basket. This is something you want to pay attention to. I watched a lot of AAU games down in Southern California this past week, so this is something that I have to share with you. All right, this is something you want to take notes on and add to your game. Again, it's more method than skill. So we're going to get into our 4 dubs after our live training session, but again, I cannot stress it. This is something you want to see. All right, I know you hear that sound. Class is in session. All right, we're here with our live session, so let's get to this real quick. We're gonna talk about cutting off the defender when you're driving one-on-one. So I know you and Faith, we talked about this last week. Biggest thing we're gonna start working on is contact in basketball. As you guys know, basketball is about contact sport. The biggest thing that I wanna kind of press upon and teach is basically when you're driving in a straight line, there's 2 options. What you guys typically do is if I'm driving on the left wing, going baseline, I'm gonna go straight. So you guys are gonna go straight to the backboard. What we wanna kind of work on is working on that angle where we're gonna be cutting off our defender. So Jack, go ahead and start. What I want you to do is I'm gonna start in split stance, your left foot in front, right foot behind you. All right, so here's how it's gonna work. It's a real simple drill. We'll have somebody come up. Faith, I'll probably go with you. You'll have an arm bar here. All right, real simple. His job is, instead of him driving straight like normal, if he just walks normal, I can just ride him the entire time, kind of distract him, mess him up. What we want to do now is we want to advance that to where when he's driving, he's going to be driving into me like this. Yeah, that's what we want. And then you're going to finish on the right side. Does that make sense? Okay. Mark, does that make sense to you? Okay, so you can start on defense first with Jacob. All right, so you're going to hold your ball. You want that left arm on his hip. All your job is going to be is to give him a little bit of, pressure, and Jacob's gonna be pushing on you first. You'll feel more of him pushing on you. Jacob, hold on, don't start yet. Come on back, real quick, I'll tell you when to go. I wanna make sure everybody's clear, because when you go, I want you to make this sure this makes sense. When you drive, he's driving straight, but he's gonna be driving into you, and you'll feel it, because he already did it. All right, ready, Jacob? All right, go. Good, all right, you ready? Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm gonna ride your hip here. All right, all I want you to do, instead of you driving straight, you're gonna dribble into me. Does that make sense? Ready, go. Good, good, good. Good, 1 in, go. Better. Jacob, go with Faith for me. Go with Faith for me. Yep, just ride her nice, yep. Yep. Good, perfect, next, somebody go. Yep. Yep. Good, perfect, perfect. Marcus, go with Faith, please. And Jacob, you'll be last. Good, perfect. And Marcus, go ahead. Remember, drive straight, but drive into the D. Go ahead and go. Good, perfect. All right, so we're back from the live session. So obviously, I think that you kind of got the idea. When you are driving to the basket, depending on where you are, let's just take the wing, for example, the right wing or left wing. What I see typically is players try to drive to the basket and go around the long way. What you want to be able to do, and what we saw in the live session, is you want to start driving through your defender. Basketball is a contact sport. So what I tell players is if you initiate the contact first, chances are you're going to be more successful than if you happen to be the one that receives the contact. So here's how it works. The progression of when you drive is I step into the space between myself and the defender. Then there is some sort of body contact. I want to be the person to do that. Now, when that body contact happens, I have 2 options. I can drive through it, or I can stop and try to create some separation. Today, obviously, what you saw is we're focusing on driving through it. So the easiest way to kind of understand and work on this is, instead of when you're driving from the wing, just as an example, instead of driving straight or driving on a wide curve going towards the baseline, what you want to do is you want to drive towards the midline. So you want to drive as if you're driving towards the front of the basket when you have this contact. So now when the defender's hooked to my hip or hooked to my offhand as I'm driving through their hip, I want to make my line continue to go towards the front of the basket, as you saw in the live footage. So this is a quick one. There's not really a need for the 4 dubs on this one. This is more of a method. What I really encourage you to do is, if you can work with somebody, you want to work with somebody who's going to guard you and give you some physical contact. And you want them to ride you as you're working on your drives to the basket. How you get there doesn't matter, whether you use pivot triple threat or something off the dribble. The main thing is work on the method and how you're driving and the angle that you're taking to the basket. Try to get away from driving wide towards the baseline and try to drive tight towards the front of the basket. When you're doing that with the defender on you, again, they're gonna be pushing you, but if you're driving through them, you'll eventually cut them off and put them on your side or behind you. Using your offhand is something that we're going to talk about later in a future video, but your offhand is also something that you can use in order to swipe and control and keep them there as you're continuing to drive to the basket. All right, so I hope that makes sense. I think the live teaching actually really kind of explains this more than the classroom teaching, but I wanted to make sure that I kind of went over this again, because this is one of the most valuable videos that we have in our playlist. So please watch it a couple times, and I promise you this is something that you want to work on, because you have to be physical in this game. And if you can't be physical in this game, you're going to lose the battle every single time. All right, that wraps up this video. Again, take a look at it. Write some notes, get to work, and then we'll be back on our next video.